Now to the second part of this week's special NBN News series on Australia's one-punch epidemic. With the party season now in full swing, police are cracking down on violence fuelled by drink and drugs. Tonight, advice from a senior police officer about avoiding trouble, and a trauma expert explains what happens to the brain in a king hit.
It was a senseless death that broke the nation's heart. 18-year-old Thomas Kelly king hit in King's Cross on July 7 this year in another unprovoked attack.
And the last words that both Kathy and I said to him was, "Please be careful, please take care." And he said, "Don't worry, I will, and I love you."
His parents hope his tragic death highlights the escalating violence on our streets and the desperate need for it to stop.
Thank you for making our world a safer place to live in. We will never forget you.
Special police operations, including the nationwide Operation Unite, are targeting street fights and alcohol-related violence. The festive season is now well underway, with revellers enjoying Christmas parties and heading out in the warmer weather. But police are advising be aware of the risks if you come across a street brawl or an aggressive partygoer.
My initial advice to anybody being in that situation would be to avoid a confrontation, which sometimes means walking away. But it also is about, not putting yourself in a dangerous position in the beginning.
Alcohol and drug use are major contributing factors. Intoxication frequently making the victim more vulnerable and the perpetrator more aggressive.
Certainly a very, very high percentage of these king hit crimes would be related to alcohol consumption, both by the victim and by the offender.
Jared Lawson, a police officer for 25 years, has experienced the sad outcomes of these crimes. He believes young people have trouble understanding the real impact of their actions.
It's not necessarily the punch, the fist that comes into contact with someone else's body that causes all the damage. It's the actual falling onto a hard surface that can have dire consequences.
Like Tom Biviano, who we met last night, those who do survive a king hit can suffer a lifetime of serious, long-lasting injuries. Trauma expert Dr. Chino Bendinelli says brain injuries from single-punch crimes are becoming increasingly common at the John Hunter Trauma Service in Newcastle. So what happens to the brain when someone is punched and their head connects with the pavement?
In these cases, what happens is that the brain gets shaken, basically, from the punch in the face first. Sometimes one of the pieces of bones that are broken by the punch may well injure a vessel, and you have a bleeding inside the brain. Then you fall down, you hit something hard, and off you go. You have another insult, another injury to the brain.
Dr. Bendinelli says movies and television programs don't help as they don't show the real injuries.
We see a lot of movies in which they get these punches in the face, they stand up and they fight again. That's a movie, and it looks like you punch in the face, you get a blue eye. That's rare. Usually you get a punch in the face, you are injured for life.
Tomorrow night, the final part to this series. We speak to a senior barrister and examine the sentences, including the one handed down to the man who punched Tom Biviano.
You tell me the justice system, did they give me justice today? No. They didn't.
What a joke!
They didn't give my son justice.
What a joke!